the launch event for Nordic FinTech Week 25. My name is Thomas Krogh. I'm the CEO of Copenhagen FinTech, and I've been really looking forward. And we were joking today when we were talking about the launch event that this felt like the launch of the iPhone back in the days. Maybe not entirely, but at least for us, it felt like it was a big event. So welcome to all of you here in the studio at SpeakerBee. Huge shout out to SpeakerBee for these amazing surroundings and the technical setup, not to mention. And of course, all of you out there online listening in and learning a little bit about what the amazing event Nordic FinTech Week 2025 is all about. I'm going to be your stage host for today, and just to flip through the agenda so you know what awaits before we go to the networking part later on. So we will be talking a little bit about Nordic FinTech Week 2025, the what and the why. I think most of you have come across Nordic FinTech Week in some capacity. This is a little bit more zooming in at what is it actually we are trying to build here with this conference, and why are we doing it. Then, because we and some of you might have seen that we have been out and talking a little bit about what is this year's theme about. But this is very well aligned with one of our speakers that was actually joining us back in 2019, I think. Chris Colbert, and I will be doing an interview with Chris because in the meantime, Chris have been authoring a book called Technology is Dead. So we are very curious to have a conversation with Chris about what is this about. And Chris is also involved in FinTech Americas, but that's another story. He can tell you a little bit more about that. Then, as some might have seen, we have also partnered up with GFTN, which is the Global Financial and Technology Network. So also very happy to welcome Matthias Krogh, that you will meet here on stage also and learn a little bit about what is GFTN actually about, and also how will we work together with the GFTN network. Then we thought it would be appropriate to introduce you also to a case, just to say, what is it actually, what's the difference, why is this so much more than just a conference? So we invited one of, and now I say our startup, of course it's not ours, it's Lawrence's and some of his colleagues, but we feel almost part of it because Lawrence was one of the startups that's been residing with us in Copenhagen FinTech out in the lab. And a very exciting story about his journey and also how and what he got out of the Nordic FinTech Week. Then you will be meeting my dear colleague Laura. That's gonna take you through a little bit the opportunities around how you can engage with the community, the Nordic community, around the Nordic FinTech Week, and also Jakob from SpeakerBee about some of the amazing opportunities that you will also be introduced. At least you guys in the room here will be introduced to afterwards when it comes to media opportunities. And then, of course, what is also about networking and drinks. We will be joined in probably a few minutes. We will be joined with a bigger crowd from the FinTech Lab because we also, right now, we were launching our incubation program at the lab. So we started up some new startups this morning in our incubation program. And at the same time, we also launched the next cohort of the new Nordic Challengers, which is our Nordic acceleration program. And it's actually these days our selection days in the lab. So they will also be joining us in the true spirit of Nordic FinTech Week and networking, collaboration, and engaging the ecosystem. All right, let me move on and talk a little bit about the what and the why. Just a little bit of numbers to get you kind of into the spirit of Nordic FinTech Week. 2,000 plus attendees last year in 2024 during the week, which was, and I think many has the concept, the noise of Nordic FinTech Week being the 2 days at Tab 1. It's actually so much more. It's also the research symposium, it's the side events, it's what's going on in Copenhagen for the whole week and engaging the Nordic ecosystem. So 2,000 plus attendees. Oh, I'll just go back here. Go back, now I'm going forward. Let me just, is anyone else? Thank you so much. 225 speakers, and I know that for a fact, 225 speakers exactly, because I probably wrote 224 of them last year, so I was very much involved with every single one of them. So 225 speakers from all corners of the world, and that's also a very important thing for us, that it's showcasing the Nordics to the world, but it's also bringing the world to the Nordics. 100 plus sessions divided on these 3 different stages and all the different side events that were going on last year. We actually did a test, so we actually also asked people, would you recommend? And the Net Promoter Score was 72, which is extremely high compared to many others. 45 countries, people from more than 45 countries was involved in 2024, and we had more than 30 side events. So it is big enough to matter, but small enough to actually do efficient networking and business connections, and you will see that during the presentations today. You can see some of our amazing partners in 2024 lined up here. So happy that all of these guys chose to support the event and the community last year. And as our friends from Infuse also says here, Denise, this is why events like Nordic FinTech Week are so important, because businesses is still done by humans. And we'll get back to this, because this is a little bit a topic that we will touch upon, and also a major theme for 2025. Humans that are fostering relationships and trust that technology not alone can replicate, but we'll get back to that. So, also speaking a little bit on, why do we actually allow ourselves to take that claim that the Nordics is special, and when it comes to innovation and growth and the impact, Nordic companies have actually made a huge difference. If you look at, and this is the latest survey that is mentioning some of the countries that are in the forefront in Europe when it comes to fintech innovation, you can see Sweden, Denmark, and Finland ranking in the top 10. So we had all started back in 2017. It actually all started as a barbecue on the side of the canal in the inner part of Copenhagen. Small barbecue as a side event to Money 2020. As you know, Money 2020 moved on to Amsterdam, and we decided that Copenhagen and the Nordics need a major event. And that's why we set out for this ambition to build the biggest and the most ambitious combined finance and fintech event in the Nordics. So it started back in 2017, started out as first Copenhagen, and now we embraced the Nordics and created the Nordic FinTech Week that will now be running for the 3rd year in a row. So what we want to do is showcase, of course, Nordic innovation and showcase that to a global audience. And we can say with 45 nations plus and counting, we are very much on the way to do that. The vision and ambition of the Nordic FinTech Week is first and foremost like Copenhagen FinTech that it grew out of. And our roots and our DNA is our community. Our community of startups, of incumbent banks, of investors, regulators, and the community that is not only anchored in the Nordics, but is very much also a global thing. A platform for startups and investor and banks to meet. I think you will see, and when you hear from Lawrence, it's a very good example also for what it can do, especially to early stage founders also. A truly global outlook that, Nordics can be a little bit, should we say, we look at the world from our point of geography and a little bit self-centered. What we want to do here is actually bring those crucial insights and knowledge from the world into the Nordics. and facilitate, as I said, insights, knowledge, and spark these conversations that hopefully foster innovation and new partnerships and business. So use the Nordic FinTech Week as a platform and very much a gateway for the global FinTech community to engage with the Nordic ecosystem. So this is the vision and ambition and the aim of what we're trying to create here. This is one of our newest partners that we are very proud of. Kim from Gensi, Director of Growth and New Services, and I think Kim puts it very eloquently and very proud of what Kim is also saying here, that the Nordic FinTech Week is one-of-a-kind platform that brings together visionary FinTech players from the Nordics and beyond. As a Nordic insurance company, we are proud to participate in an event focused on innovation, collaboration, and solutions that empower both businesses and society. And that is the essence of what we're trying to do here. Something that is hopefully bigger and better than just a conference and Copenhagen FinTech, and that spreads much beyond just us. This is very much tying into what we want to do with this platform also. We launched the Nordic FinTech Report last year for the first time, mapping out the entire Nordic ecosystem and giving you a lot of insights and numbers into the ecosystem here. Among those, I didn't bring that here, but among those, that the #1 unicorn factory in the Nordics, unicorn producing factory in the Nordics when it comes to FinTech is actually Nordea. Jacob, I think you're around here somewhere, right? You're there, yes. So if you want to build a FinTech unicorn, you have to go to Nordea. I'm not sure that's the full conclusion, but let's just keep it there. All right. So the Nordic FinTech Report, full of a lot of insights, and of course we will be doing that again for 2025. We will also be, and they are also in the room here, as I said, we have selection days for our joint program together with Tenergy here in Copenhagen. So some of the guys that just joined us here and are standing in the back are actually companies participating in the selection days and also participating in the Nordic FinTech Week. And of course, we have the Nordic FinTech Awards, which is very much around trying to map out the entire Nordic FinTech ecosystem, and with an awesome group of judges trying to pick, and it is hard, but trying to pick some of the winners in each category. And I think when you look at some of the previous winners here, you will see unicorns, you will see fast-growing Nordic FinTech companies. So when it comes to this here, if you were able to bet your money on it, that would actually be some of the companies that would probably be good to invest in when you see who's winning through the years. All right. When it comes to, and I think that takes us also closer to the conversation that I'm taking with Chris here in a few minutes. We had a discussion around what to do this year. You know, we did last year, we focused very much on AI. Every conversation at the Nordic FinTech Week almost was about how AI is going to be a game changer for financial services. And you know, when everyone goes left, then it's interesting to see how do we then go right. And I'm not saying we are taking a radically different approach, but we, for 2025, want to zoom in a little bit more on the human side of tech and a little bit more on how do we make sure that this amazing progress of AI, first and foremost, you saw that, you answered it yourself, that you believe that is going to be a game changer for the industry, or whether it's blockchain technology, quantum, or whatever. How do we ensure that in combination with finance is actually being done in a way where it accelerates, enhances, and fuels humans and society for good? So that will be kind of the underlying music, that will be the theme that we will be zooming in on when it comes to the Nordic FinTech Week in 2025. Also because it's very much aligned with at least how we perceive the Nordics and the human-centered approach, what we are known for in the Nordics. So that is going to be the thing that goes through the red thread in many of the discussions, the presentations, and whatever we will be doing in 2025 for the Nordic FinTech Week. So just an ending remark for me. I think we talk so much about what's going to happen in September, but I think what's important for me to underline also is that this is so much more than just a conference in September. This is actually now also expanding into doing other different kind of events. Also expanding into collaborations like the one we have now with GFGN, Tenety with the Nordic New Challengers, and so on and so forth. So it's so much more than just a conference. It's a platform for global change, conversation, partnerships, and just what we of course love to do business, like when like you heard with in the case of Diva, for instance, or with the examples that Laura just told you about. So I don't know if it was totally hitting with the remark around the iPhone launch. I'm not sure we got all the way up there, but if we just took you a little bit with that, left you a little bit with that feeling and excitement for what is coming, and also how to engage with this platform and Nordic FinTech Week and GFGN going forward. I hope then we've accomplished a big part of our mission with this event, and would love to continue the conversation. Thank you so much.